The psychology of creativity that the psychology of creativity that arrives after everyone is asleep. Have you ever noticed that your most profound ideas, your most vivid stories, or your most ingenious solutions seem to tap you on the shoulder, not in the bright light of a busy afternoon, but in the profound quiet of the night, long after the world has gone to sleep? You lie in bed, and suddenly, a constellation of thoughts connects. You get up for a glass of water, and a melody, a plot twist, or a design concept unfolds in your mind with perfect clarity. This is not a coincidence or a quirk of your personal schedule. It is a powerful psychological and neurobiological phenomenon. The creativity that blooms in the nocturnal silence is a special alchemy of a brain released from the day's constraints, entering a state of unique cognitive liberty. Let's explore the fascinating mechanics of the midnight mind. First, we must understand what happens when the external world fades. During the day, our brains are executive function powerhouses. The prefrontal cortex, the CEO of our mind, is managing a ceaseless stream of tasks, focusing attention, filtering distractions, making decisions, adhering to social norms, and meeting deadlines. This directed thinking is essential for productivity, but it is also inherently restrictive. It operates on known pathways, proven logic, and immediate goals. It is excellent for execution, but often poor for true divergent innovation. When night falls and the demands of the day relent, the emails stop pinging, the conversations cease, the to-do list is temporarily put aside. This executive grip begins to loosen. The prefrontal cortex starts to wind down. In this state of cognitive disinhibition, the mental gates that normally keep irrelevant or wild ideas at bay are left slightly ajar. This allows for the free association of concepts that would, in daylight, seem unrelated or illogical. The brain begins to connect distant dots, weaving together memories, emotions, and sensations stored in different neural networks. The quiet, in essence, isn't just an absence of sound. It's an absence of directive pressure, creating a spacious playground for the mind. This process is intimately connected to our biology and our movement through different states of consciousness. The period right before sleep, known as the hypnagogic state, is a notorious hotbed for creativity. In this liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, logical thinking dissolves into a more fluid, dreamlike mode of thought. Images, symbols, and abstract concepts float to the surface without the rigid censorship of our waking mind. History is replete with examples. The chemist August Kekulé envisioned the circular structure of the benzene molecule in a hypnagogic dream of a snake eating its own tail. Mary Shelley conceived the core idea for Frankenstein in a waking dream. This state allows the brain to form novel associations because it operates in a different wavelength. Literally, the brainwave patterns shift from the fast, alert beta waves of the day to the slower, more relaxed alpha and theta waves. These waves are associated with introspection, visualization, and the subconscious processing of information. It's as if the brain, freed from the task of navigating the external world, turns its immense processing power inward, sifting through the day's data and connecting it with the deep archives of memory and emotion. Furthermore, the cover of darkness and solitude provides a profound psychological permission slip. Creativity is a vulnerable act. It requires a suspension of self-judgment, a tolerance for ambiguity, and a willingness to explore the absurd. During the day, the inner critic, that internalized voice of reason, doubt, and social expectation, is often at its loudest. It questions the practicality of an idea, fears embarrassment, and demands immediate utility. The night in its privacy muffles this critic. In the dark, with no audience, you are free to be ridiculous, to follow a bizarre thought thread, to imagine the impossible. This sense of psychological safety is a crucial fertilizer for creative growth. The darkness becomes a protective cloak, allowing the most delicate and unconventional ideas to emerge without the fear of immediate scrutiny. It is a return to a childlike state of wonder, where the rules of the adult world are temporarily suspended. This nocturnal creativity is also deeply tied to our chronobiology, our internal body clock. For many people, especially those who identify as night owls, cognitive peaks naturally occur later in the day. As evening progresses, for these individuals, the mind often finds its optimal rhythm for open-ended, reflective work. The fatigue that follows a long day, counterintuitively, can also be a catalyst. Mild fatigue can further dampen the analytical prefrontal cortex while leaving the more associative and intuitive brain networks online. This mimics, to a lesser degree, the hypnagogic state, allowing for looser, more creative thinking. The brain, in a resource-conserving mode, may opt for broad, heuristic thinking, making broad connections, over narrow, focused analysis. So how can we harness this powerful nightly potential without sacrificing essential sleep? The key is respectful cultivation, not forced extraction. First, create a ritual of mental offloading. Before bed, jot down the day's preoccupations, worries, and to-dos in a journal. This brain dump helps quiet the executive mind, signaling that it can stand down. Keep a notebook or voice recorder by your bed. When an idea strikes in the dark, capture it in a few keywords without turning on bright lights or fully engaging the critical mind. Simply record the seed. Practice mindful night wandering. If you find yourself awake and buzzing with ideas, instead of frustratingly chasing sleep, allow yourself 10 to 15 minutes of deliberate contemplation. Lie in the dark and follow the creative thread without pressure, then gently let it go. Consider a digital sunset at least an hour before bed. The blue light from screens suppresses melatonin and keeps the brain in an alert state. Replacing this with soft lighting, reading a book, or listening to calm music can invite the slower brainwave states conducive to creative association. Ultimately, the creativity that visits you after hours is a gift from your subconscious, a testament to a mind too rich and interconnected to be confined to daylight logic. It is the part of you that works in metaphors, whispers in symbols, and solves problems through narrative and intuition. It is not a disruption of your sleep, but a profound function of a complex system winding down, and in doing so, making its most profound connections. So the next time you find your mind lighting up in the dark, don't dismiss it as insomnia. Recognize it. You are in the workshop of the unconscious, where the raw materials of your day are being sculpted into something new. Listen to those midnight whispers. They are not keeping you from rest. They are offering you a glimpse into the deepest, most inventive layers of your own being. Honor them by gently capturing their essence, and then trust them to continue their work as you drift into the dreamscape, where the creativity continues in an even more mysterious and vivid form.